Good evening, and welcome to tonight's Hangout in the Crib. As you can see, we've got a nice full panel today. Got myself the BP Prof,
Hey.
G Daddy is with us as well.
Hey guys and girls.
We've also got Hefe, as everybody knows. If he's going to talk or not. Obviously not. And we've got TDO as well.
Hello.
Yes. So, tonight we are talking about the skirmish changes to the Foundry, the new time limited campaign, war games, and a few other bits and pieces. So, shall we go straight into it? I don't know who's going to do the slides.
I think I am.
Okie dokie.
Although Hefe did an awesome job helping make these slides, so thanks again, Hefe.
No problem.
All right, so we'll hop right in to the bug fixes. There's only one fix this week, but it's a big one that's, I don't know, bugged the hell out of me. And hopefully it's fixed. So they have all these words: repair time displayed in the dock before started would be lower than the time used, armors, repair time reduction, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, this is all this craziness where it would say a time to repair and then it would take longer, or you'd be in the middle of a repair and it would look like your ship was almost repaired. And then you'd cancel and it would be like the bar would grow again and just really be obnoxious. So hopefully that's all fixed.
Laddie, it's just happened to me now. Believe it or not.
Okay.
And Larry, do you know what he actually is saying here? I mean, it's very convoluted what he wrote. I mean,
Well,
I've read through it a couple of times, and
the repair time displayed in the dock before it would start would be lower than the actual time used when using armors with repair time reduction built in. So, I mean, just about every armor has repair time reduction now, right?
yeah, so everything but
So-
D4 was messing up.
So yeah, every repair time was wrong,
Okay.
and maybe it's still wrong.
Yeah, I noticed it still is as well. And it says one time before you press start, and then goes straight to the new time straight afterwards. So yeah, it's not fixed. But nice try, anyway.
Hey, math is hard. All right. Coming soon. VXP bulk buy. If you want to pay money for rank, you can do so.
Yeah, this is a really good time to do it right after a VXP weekend.
Well, it's better than the people who did it before the VXP weekend, because these people at least get a discount.
I was going to say, someone said on a different show that on about VXP, why should you VXP when you just wait for VXP weekend? Why should you buy it with coin? And there's your answer. That's what they've tried to do.
Yeah, it's dumb. Really.
I mean,
Yeah.
I sort of wonder why they do it at all anymore. The whole ranking thing, and just have us all be at 75% to begin with, because it's, I mean, I guess they do make some money off the XP weekend, but it can easily be done for free.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, I suppose. Some people can't get on for the VXP weekends, can they? So
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess I feel like if people want to spend money on this, okay, Kixeye is giving them the opportunity. This is just seems like a really bad way to spend your money.
Yeah. Pretty
You would
much.
have been better off speeding up your build to be ready for VXP weekend than spending on the rank afterwards.
Well, let's be honest. Coining rank on ships is ridiculous money anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, very nice. 80% off of ranking an enforcer up to full whack. That's still stupid money, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, just no, really.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do it, at least do it in middle of the month, so that it's in the middle of the month not right after the VXP weekend.
Yeah, I guess the timing is a little weird.
It seems an odd time to do it right after a VXP weekend. I suppose people that have only got it up to like 70% and want it scaled out, it's only one bulk section, isn't it? So I suppose there is that.
But if you're coining, right? If you're willing to coin for VXP, then you must have been willing to coin your repairs on
Weekend, yeah.
VXP. Yeah. And if you weren't doing it on VXP weekend, I don't know how you rank a Vanquisher, because all that armor.
Could they be trying to tell us that maybe there ain't going to be another VXP weekend?
Yeah, but they've done this before, though, haven't they? A few times. They did it
Yeah.
once
Yeah,
every-
originally they started doing it like 2 days beforehand, and I guess they realized that nobody was doing it.
Yeah.
And then they started switching it to afterwards, but because the first time they announced it, they didn't announce the VXP weekend. They just announced the VXP reduced buys,
That's right.
Yeah.
and so people, I guess, thought, okay, well, I got to buy it now. They're not going to have a VXP weekend, and then they had the VXP weekend anyway. So I'm sure they got a little chunk of change off of that. The way the information was released.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on from VXP. We all think it's a bad idea. Fragment drops increased.
Sorry, can I just say one more thing on VXP?
Other than it's a bad idea?
Yeah, Leo from H. Congratulations on making Kickside very happy by skull ranking your retribution within an hour of the campaign being released yesterday. Congratulations, well done.
Yeah. All right. Fragment drops. So increased fragment drops from Foundry targets this weekend. That is this weekend. Yeah, 29th. That's Friday. So double fragments while it's yellow and triple when orange. So that should be 4 fragments instead of 2 when yellow, and then 9 fragments when orange, which is pretty darn good.
Yeah, if that's the way it is, because this is the way it's written is the way I think it always is.
Right.
But you sort of have to extrapolate on, okay, we know this, and then maybe this is going to happen. Yeah,
Maybe.
I
think last time they did
the
this
Doom
was-
Rooster riddles.
Yeah. Last time they did this, I think they were just doubled at any sector threat. Right? 246 instead of 123.
Yeah, I think it is pretty much the same, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it'll be different. Maybe it'll be 149. I guess we'll see. And then the raid starts August 11th. This one is generally expected to be about the same as last time and a hull store. So
Yeah, it's confirmed that it is going to be a whole store.
Yep. Okay. So get your Apollos and your Rhinos and get those ships ready. If you don't have Apollos and Rhinos, if you don't have Rhinos, what are you doing? But
Yeah, I have to admit I haven't got Apollos.
I ain't got rhinos.
Yeah, but you've got Apollos, right?
I'm making Apollos now, yeah.
You shouldn't be
Alright. What have you been doing for the last couple raids then?
I've been getting help.
Okay.
At least he's honest about it.
Only way you can do it. Me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Alright, anything else about the raid?
Not a lot really. If you haven't got the Vendetta, definitely pick it up.
Yeah, definitely. It's time to get a Conqueror Hull if you haven't. Agreed.
And the Vendetta's really good, especially even if you don't have Revenges, because it's a short build time and it's a short repair time. So.
Yep. Okay. Changes. Okay, so let's start with the gameplay changes. So the big one intended to, let's just say, make it less attractive or less possible to do zombie subs. Your subs have to be 100% health to launch. I guess that means you really can't zombie them.
Yeah.
So with the increase to health, that's actually on a different slide. That the health, base health of subs was increased with the repair mod decreased. So Kixeye said small, but really it's like 2/3 damage on all the subs you already have. So they gave repair tokens so that you could instant repair to make up for that. Yeah, 5 5-hour ship repair tokens. Did it actually say that in the text?
No, they originally awarded 2,
Right.
and me and a bunch of people filed tickets saying, I have 26 subs. 2 hours is not even coming close to cutting it because I can't launch them. And they gave us 3 more 5-hour tokens.
Okay.
Across the board.
I must
Yeah.
agree with that. I were a bit cheesed off when we only got 2 hours because I've only got 3 sets of subs myself, and that wouldn't have worked for me either.
I mean, I've got some old specs and kudas, but really the only subs I use anymore were the tigers. So I only really needed 1 token, and I'm hanging on to the other 4. Actually, I used another one after I hit one of those 70s, but I certainly don't mind them.
Yeah, this is very true. They come in very, very handy for for fixing my Proton M that I accidentally lost.
Yeah. All right, and then the other big change is they nerfed certain types of weapons when mounted on subs. They called it surface weapons, but that's not exactly the case. So radioactive weapons when mounted on subs have minus 25% range, and then explosive weapons when mounted on subs have minus 99% damage.
Yeah. So both subfleets that I've got with surface weapons on are now useless.
Yep. Now,
Well, the thing about the launchers ones is it's just the range. You can still use them if you want to prep out like a building or something to make the hit easier on you. But for removing fleets, they're not really that good anymore.
yeah. I mean,
be
you know
honest-
what I would have liked to see sort of across the board is just if you have surface weapons instead of hybrids mounted on your subs, then it just starts increasing your detection range,
Yeah,
and
that
maybe
would
even
make sense.
even increases your vulnerability to thermal or something like that. This just seems a little weird, but
Well, the 25% range brings you within the 80 of most thermal hulls, doesn't it? So it kind of does basically do that anyway. Explosive damage one, I used to have assault mortars on Reapers after they'd done their deluge nerf. So I used to have those that just pop up and just take out a thermal ship. But really, with the amount of anti-morts that are in bases at the minute, it kind of don't make any sense anyway.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So there you have it, sub gameplay. Anything else you want to talk about on these? I mean, Earth, you had these surface subs. Are you pissed?
Obviously with the changes with the Cyclone, that was, a bit stupid and overpowered, I have to admit. But, it comes down again to the way that the Kickside put out their information. They should have done it before they released the new Cyclones to stop the people from either coining it on or using tokens to put it on or whatever.
That's it. You just hit the nail on the head, though. They wanted you to do it so they could nerf what they had to nerf to stop you from using it. Because they're changing the game altogether, aren't they?
I don't think they're that evil. I don't think they really saw it coming.
I don't think they thought about it personally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When we build ships, we build it our way. We don't build it Kicksey's way, do we?
But they want to put everything in nice, tidy little boxes now. So
Exactly.
I think really is taking a bit away from the game, really, because there's a lot of people that will come up with a lot of out of the box ideas to get round things in the game.
Yeah.
and that's what makes the game fun, in my opinion. But if you want us to put everything in nice, tidy little boxes, then obviously that's what we've got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. They are certainly trying to box us in more with the hull types and the target types and bypass and yeah. All right. Let's move on. With the Foundry, skirmish to the Foundry, we got build time reductions. This is the one everybody was really hoping for. Assault torpedoes are approximately cut in half. And by the way, X torpedoes do bonus explosive damage.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the siege ones did too.
I don't know. No, I think it's. I was actually looking that up earlier to figure out if, by chance, they were going to be negating the bonus damage on the D63X, and that was the only X torpedo that I saw.
Okay. Yeah, I assume that damage mod would apply to the X torpedo. But anyway, all these salts are cut in half. The Scourge torps are cut by about a third. So this is, I mean, they were pretty stupid before, yet still worth building. Now they're actually kind of, I don't know if I want to say reasonable, but at least better.
Yeah.
And then Siege torps are cut by a lot. But obviously, Scourge torps with their extra range are really the ones you want to use. They hit harder and are at longer range. So.
I think, to go from a build that's got all assault torps on it to either a Styx or Sharon build and change some of the specials is around about 4 days now on a Nighthawk
Mm-hmm.
for most people. So, I mean, that's reasonable enough, I think.
Yeah. And what I noticed actually, and we'll get into the hull build changes as well, but I was looking at CUDA builds with I think Styx or maybe Charons, and it was about a 5-day build, for a decent build, and that's pretty nice, right? You can get your whole subfleet done in 20 days with CUDAs.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased about the reduction because it dropped 22 days off of my second Ghost build. It went from 48 days to 26 days.
Stop rubbing it in.
I am 35 shards away from a Ghost. I'm just going to put that out there, and I'm probably going to build it when I get it.
It's just made me change my decision as well of whether to refit me Apollos first or sort my cutters out, because it were only 1 day 4 hours for my cutters, so I decided to do them.
Yeah, and we all know that these sub-raid is coming in September, and you've got a month and a half, and you can build a decent sub-fleet with low-end subs in a month. So when September rolls around and somebody's crying, "I got no subs, I can't do this raid," I just no excuse.
Yeah, 'cause they haven't exactly been. They haven't been hiding what they were going to do with the subs. They're been for the past month, subs are going into the Foundry. Stuff's going to happen to them. You see people on pages, why are my subs damaged? I never used them. And then you ask, do you go on forums? No. Well, that's why you don't know why your subs are damaged.
It's not as if we haven't been mentioning it either. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
You don't even have to go on forums.
We've had 2 months of bloody test servers about it as well.
Right. And now, and I think we're going to get to the Reaver Armadas in a later slide, but those are basically previews of raid targets. So try them out, see how you do.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. But you will notice that you will want ablative 3 armor on your subs.
Yep.
Just putting that out there.
Yep. Yeah, I need to do that. All right, let's move on from this slide. I think
I had a quick question, though. You said there was no excuses, but right now, there's no way for a player that does not have a Sharon or a Styx to get one. I'm assuming, or at least hoping, that between now and, somewhere reasonably far ahead of when that raid occurs, that the Scourge torpedoes will be released again.
The Scourge torpedoes were in the last raid, the one we just had.
Yep. and hopefully they'll be.
But you had to get 30. How many points did you have to get to get one of them?
It was
I
in
think it was like 5 or 6 mil for each one, but you could get somebody to prep you a few things and that.
No. But it was in a locked store.
it was in the
You
lock.
had to complete
Oh,
all
yeah,
the way
that's right.
through to get to them. So it was not
So
available
if you had
to.
nothing, you'd have to get 30 mil and then the points for it. Yeah, I forgot about that. My bad.
It's a good
Yeah,
point.
so it was very difficult for them to be achieved by mid-level players, and I think they need to make some sort of way to make them available to those players before the raid, because otherwise, I mean, I put out that sonar calculator. You can do it with assault torps, but with barracudas, you're going to have a safety margin, assuming that the sonar stays at about 150 on these targets.
I
But
presume.
yeah,
Sorry, go on. Carry on.
but I'm just hoping that they find some way to release them beforehand, and I'm hoping they'll be part of the upcoming raid prize collection.
Yeah.
I think if they don't do that, then they probably need to be put into some of the lower tiers in the Forsaken mission in the next
Tier
cycle.
3.
Yeah, that's what I.
Tier 3 is
I was gonna
pretty
say last week.
attainable the most.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Probably like tier 3 or 4 in the Forsaken mission would probably be a good place to put them in as well.
I still think tier 4's quite difficult to get, even for me. Twice a week is difficult.
Yeah. Again, put the shower on tier 3 and then put the sticks in on 4 or something.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else we got. Skirmish ships in the Foundry. So, we'll talk about the big picture here. In general, those 4 subs that flew by, the Cuda, the Spectre, the Nighthawk, and the Tiger Shark, got increased cloak time, increased defenses, increased accuracy, and increased concussive damage. The Spectre also got a 3rd special slot and combat speed to 16. Now, the 3rd special is definitely what I was looking for on the Spectre.
Yeah, for sure. It's been lacking it for a long time.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yep. And then the places to get the fragments, you can see it here. So tier 1s come from level 71 salvage, and so even if you don't have Kudas, you can start grinding on 71 salvages and eventually get enough fragments for a Kuda. So get going. No excuses.
Yeah, everybody can salvage.
And then we've got the new Reaver Armadas to give you tiers 2, 3, and 4 fragments. And again, I think I've got a picture of them on a page upcoming. So the Reaver Armadas, they spawn at Sector Threat Yellow, they spawn around the Dubs, and they don't pay out uranium, they just pay out fragments.
Bit of a waste, that one, if you ask me. Should have paid out uranium as well.
Yep.
Or something, because originally we did this, I think, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, or maybe longer ago, when we were dealing with the Assault Foundry targets, that we were told from the beginning that these targets were going to be part of what we normally do. They weren't going to be new chores to be added, and if we're not getting anything from these targets besides these fragments, these are new things we're going to do that wouldn't be part of the game.
Again, it's putting the choice in there whether you hit normal armadas or these, and you get the bonus of having the uranium that you would get from the armada and getting bits as well that you need for fragments would have made sense, really. Still spawn them alongside, but reward the player for doing it, because at the minute I look at it and go, yeah, I'm not even going to bother with that.
Yeah, I mean, I've hit
stuff to do.
I've hit 2 of the 70s so far, and I've taken 4 hours on the first one I did, and 3 hours on the second one with the crew. And those are my Styx Tigers that don't have ablative yet.
They could have even put base parts in them, though, to at least give you something to go for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's when you're going to turn around and say that all of this new stuff to do with the Foundry is all going to come in and coincide with something that you're going to do on a daily basis anyway, don't then turn around and make it not so.
Right. Right. Because what are we? So the siege and the garrison are part of the regular stuff, right? Base parts and
Yeah,
FM. But then the assault and the skirmish and the
yeah,
megas are all unique.
yeah,
So
exactly.
50-50. Well, not 50-50, but all right. Let's
Math
I'm
is
gonna.
hard.
Thank you. Math is hard, especially when you've been drinking.
That's, that's, is that the word for today's show? Is it or the little speak for the show? Math is hard.
Math is hard. All right, so we got a few slides on the individual ships. I'll try and go through these kind of quick. So again, these are the specific stat changes. Build time reduction on the CUDA. It used to be over 2 days for the bare hull. Now it's about 21 hours, 21 and a half hours. So that's good. Again, you can do a nicely fitted CUDA for 5 days each, which is, I think, really nice. And then the Foundry benefits, you get DPS at R1, 2, and 3, and a little bit of turn speed. These R1, 2, and 3 benefits are really, really mild. And then, R4 and R5 are even a little better, some of the resistance and accuracy, but, they're not amazing. All right, anything else about the CUDAs?
That explosive resistance is really going to help in the upcoming raid, and of course, as we can mention, that in raid times the Barracuda is actually instant repair as well.
So I have a counterpoint to your thing about the explosive defense really going to help. Because, Kixeye is tuning these targets for the ships we have, and all the subs got explosive defense. So, if they give all the subs 40, 50, 60% explosive defense, they're really just accounting for that anyway. I don't see this as a real benefit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's just a way of providing damage, isn't it, in the raid?
Yeah. Because if you do these targets right, you're not taking damage from anything else.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Let's
So
keep going.
basically, all it is limitation of the damage that you're going to receive.
Yeah.
You need good explosive resistance, and you need to be able to drive correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't. Well, I guess we can talk about the new targets at some point, but I don't like the whole idea of them. But maybe we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got a slide on those. Spectre, we talked about the third special and the increased speed. Again, better defenses. Again, real mild increases R1 through R3. R4, you start getting the resistance and accuracy bumps, and same deal in R5. So, I don't see these Foundry improvements as must-haves.
Yeah, the stat changes was huge, though. I mean, the original combat speed on the Spectre is 10.
Yeah.
So I was, repairing my Spectres that got obliterated by the upgrade, and I was like, oh my goodness, they got a combat speed of 37 now, and I was like, it was just completely floored me because I didn't, before I'd actually gone through everything, I was like, I didn't really notice it, and I was like, before they were like 23 or 24.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that's really substantial.
Yep.
Harry, we've just got a question from chat from Tom. He's asking, can someone tell me what assault DPS is?
Sure. So, yeah, I'll explain it. So it's extra damage per second, and so the first thing you have to understand is it's divided between the weapon slots on the ship. So a Spectre, for example, let's talk about R1. You have 54 extra DPS. So when you split that among the 6 weapon slots, you get 9 DPS per weapon. Okay, and then it's adjusted. So then when your weapons hit, they do extra damage against assault or ship targets, right? Because it's assault. So that extra 9 damage is actually multiplied by your reload time, and it's your actual reload time accounting for rank. Okay, so if after your ship is fully ranked, your reload time is 1 second, every torpedo that hits from the Spectre at R1 is going to do an extra 9 points of damage, because it's 9 damage per second from that weapon slot. Now, if your reload time is 2, then it does actually more extra damage, even though it's still 9 DPS. It'll do 18 damage extra on a 2 reload weapon. And it's kind of interesting. In a way, DPS is a way of smoothing out the increase in damage from rank, because since the DPS accounts for your reload time, it doesn't change as you rank up. So I'll just say it's an attempt to kind of make the lower ranked ships be competitive with the higher ranked ships, except these numbers of 54 and even 255 are just minuscule. You're not going to notice them, in my opinion. You know, when you get DPS numbers in the thousands, then you start to notice them, but these are pretty minimal.
I've got another comment comment from chat. SpongeBob1 says maths is hard.
Yes.
I was just
Well,
thinking-
hopefully I went through that and explained it, and I did my math right despite having finished my year.
To me, it would make more sense for it to be damage per shot instead of damage per second.
Well, yeah, and that would negate what I said about, you know, the fact that at rank the DPS gets less important.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I mean, what Larry's trying to say is that it's boosting up at, you know, at 0 rank. It's boosting up the damage of the hull. But as the reload increases, that's not, you know, the DPS is not increasing. So
Well, I know
that's-
what he's saying, but
The basic thing of it is at low rank and high rank, there's a massive gap with the DPS. It's shortening that gap, but as you rise up, it doesn't sort of go any further. The gap doesn't
right.
move on scale.
So here's the thing. Like let's say a weapon is doing 200 DPS at no rank, okay? And that's a, you know, there are weapons that do about 200 DPS at no rank that we use. And so, you know, you add 9 DPS, well, that's 5%. Okay, it's something. Okay, but at full rank, at legendary, that weapon is going to do 800 DPS. And so you still add only 9 DPS. So instead of going from 200 to 209, you go from 800 to 809. It's just you stop noticing it. So,
Right.
all right.
Move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Okay, Nighthawk. Defenses, damage increase, accuracy increase, cloak time increase, build time reduction. That's good because it used to be a Nighthawk took about the same as a Tiger. And then you see some bigger DPS numbers, some bigger resistance numbers. So there you go, Nighthawk. Tiger Shark, again, increased accuracy, cloak time, armor. Same build time for Tiger Shark, and this is no officer build time. And then you start seeing some real DPS numbers, although the Tiger I think already had 1200 DPS. So actually your increases from a Tiger Shark without the retro to R1 to R2 to R3, these increases are like nothing. And in fact, even this increase, 1200 to 1500, it's just not that much. So these again are pretty mild, I would say. Obviously, increased accuracy and resistance is nice.
I did find it amusing watching a tiger shark trying to kill one of the new retribution hulls. That was quite interesting.
Pinging away and doing no damage.
Because there was literally a skull rank fleet of tiger sharks, and they were hitting on this retribution, and it was just not doing anything. It was literally like scratching the paint on it.
Well, the dot damage should have. I guess they
Oh,
didn't
he
have
had
sticks.
barons on. He didn't
Oh
have
yeah.
sticks.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite funny. It was just like I was watching it, and I was going, there isn't any red showing. It's been like 2.
Nice. The other thing I want to point out is I put R5 in red, and that's because there's no way to get tier 5 fragments for skirmish right now. I'm guessing that they're probably going to start selling them at some point.
For ridiculous prices.
Yeah, because that's what they did with the assault fragments. But boy, at least the R5 Rhino had some pretty significant increases over R4. I wouldn't spend $1 for this versus the R4.
Neither would I.
In fact, I'm not even going to bother with any of it, really.
Yeah, with the difficulty of those 70 armadas, it's tough to get even R1.
Well, it's not even difficulty, Larry. Really, it's just the time that it takes. Really. It's a lot of time and messing about. It's not something that you can do quickly.
Agreed. Yep.
No comment. I never got them in raids.
No, but it's something that you can't do it quickly. So it's something else that's taking up time. Like you said, it's another chore. And there's so much other things that you've got to be concentrating on. And with the way that the game's progressing so quickly, you need to be right on top of getting your base parts and stuff like that to make tweaks to your base to keep things out and stuff like that. So between doing that, doing the Forsaken mission, especially if you haven't got a fleet that can do 107s, if you're trying to get tier 5 twice weekly in order to get all your tech up to date and stuff like that, where are you going to find the time to do this as well?
Yeah.
It can't all be about the chores. You've got to have fun. You've got to go out, hit bases, and if you would like to go and snipe fleets, do whatever you want to do. But it's not all about doing the chores.
Okay.
That's
well,
why.
The thing about it is the biggest boosts were automatically applied to the holes. You really don't need to retro them because they've already got the big boost of defenses and the submerged time and stuff. So you don't have to do it. It's there if you have nothing else to do is what I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
I agree, 100%. And, with, like I said, with everything else that you've got to do day to day just to keep up, it's finding the time to do it.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, I view these Armada targets as sort of a raid tune-up. Hit a few, see how you do with the subs you got, and see if you want to refit. I definitely realized I want to refit my subs with some ablative armor. So, that's what I learned by hitting some 70s.
So what you're saying is, if you want to do everybody a favor, go out and hit those targets with floating fortresses.
Wait, you think Kixeye actually keeps good data on that? I'm not so confident. I used to think that, and then I was educated differently.
I think they probably keep data from certain people.
They're definitely not getting aggregate data on it. They're not. There's no way. All right.
The thing I noticed is, whoops, can we go back?
Oh, sure.
The thing I noticed across the board was the accuracy increase.
Yeah.
I mean, the Scourge torps are 75 to 80. And I'm just wondering, are they going to add? Because I don't think they've been putting that much evade in the recent raid targets. So do you think that's what's going to occur? Are they going to add evade?
Yeah,
Because
I think it's probably is down to that. They are probably going to add a fair amount of evade, especially probably in the higher level targets, I would have thought. And it's probably where they're trying to balance it a bit.
I guess I look at it just, like I said on defenses before, I look at it the same way. They're just going to add evade to cancel it out if they need, to nerf, you know what I mean? If they need the ships to be a little less effective. So I don't see the point.
Well, because they add it to that so that it does more damage against player fleets, and then, when it comes to the raid, they just add extra evade to cancel it out. What's
Yeah, I
not
guess.
to like from their point of view?
Okay.
yeah, because the only tangible bonus would be the accuracy increase to 20 versus the accuracy increase to 35. So that 15% is potentially the only thing that you're going to see as a bonus versus a PvE target.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Should we move on?
All right. So some people got a little bit hosed by this. So some players know, and other players who watch the show are about to learn, that when you have a special that's based on the armor weight of a ship, the built-in armor of a ship actually adds weight, and what is it, 1 ton per 4 armor or something? Hefe?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay. So it behaves like it has that much extra weight when it's computing the armor weight penalty.
Pretty
So
much like with the Vanquishers, with their base armor of 500,000, when you added a special on it, which increased the weight of the armor, even though you didn't have any armor on it, it was pushing it overweight.
yep, exactly.
Exactly the same situation.
Right. So some people, right, who already put AA3, a blade of armor, to give themselves that explosive defense, found that their subs weighed an extra 296 tons. Now, to compensate for this, Kixeye added 200 tons of weight to the Tiger Sharks. But what that meant is that some players saw this sort of 96 gain versus their limit and ended up overweight. In other words, their subs were fatties.
Yeah.
And worse yet, you could be in the situation where that extra 296 tons times 5 could put your fleet overweight. Because here you go, Hefe. If you've got 5 subs that were at their max weight before, you weren't hitting your Doc 12 max weight, 37.5 versus 38.1.
Yes.
Now, if you have 5 subs that were at max weight with AA3, you just added a whole lot of weight to your fleet, and you could end up overweight.
Yeah, and when I did the full fleet max weight, I included the Phantom in there because the Phantom is a little bit heavier than the rest.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, this problem is so old. This problem was solved much better when they added the original hammerhead into the game. Well, not the original, but the hammerhead, the straight up hammerhead, because they added. Whoops, can I get the slide back? 1 second. Because when they added the straight hammerhead in, they wanted to make the HHA better, so they added armor to it, and we ran into the same problem.
Back then, yeah.
How many years ago was that? But
Uh,
what they did at that point was they added the full hull weight and the full dock weight, so people could launch their fleets and do whatever. But they seem to skimp on us a little bit this time.
Well, the trouble with it is now is I'm quite worried for a couple of people that I know that have got them, because now their fleets are overweight, but their ships are overweight, and they can't refit them because they are not a standard build anymore because they're overweight. There's no option to refit them, so you can't do it. So you're a bit screwed. You can't even take off any armor or anything like that to get the weight under, so you can use them. And obviously, your fleet's going to be overweight as well. But then, if you're looking at an automatic banhammer coming around and looking at that, and because you can't physically build an overweight fleet, is there a possibility that they're going to get whacked with a banhammer as well?
That would be a double kick in the pants, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm just, something that needs to be addressed, and not like next week. Yesterday it needed to be addressed, really.
Right. Yeah, I think any player who's got some overweight ships better file a ticket right now. I mean, that's about the best you can do.
Literally, don't even bother watching the rest of the show. Just get in, get your ticket done.
Yep. All right. So you want to talk about this a little more? Or are we ready to keep going?
No, I think we can keep going.
Yeah, I think we covered it.
All right. Let's talk war games. And so time limited campaign started yesterday and goes for a week. It's available to level 60 plus, and you hit player bases. And they are actually based on actual player bases, although some of the turret builds and ships and combinations thereof are not legal for us players. But it doesn't mean the players these came from were illegal, it just means Kixeye changed it.
Yeah, because there are a couple of them that have got like 3 cold snaps.
Yeah. The retreat button is delayed? What do you mean by that one, Hefe?
So it's
normally,
not retreat
okay.
like player bases. You know, when you go into a campaign and you deal damage, and then, or in the Forsaken mission, for example, you've got that delayed retreat button, so you can't deal any damage or take any damage for 30 seconds before you can retreat out. That's basically the same. That.
All right. Okay, 3 bases per tier. That's good to know. I only hit the first tier so far. And then no bubble, and that's also really important because it means that if you are really so inclined, you can start throwing fleets at these bases, and your damage will stay, and you won't, after you hit 25%, you still have the option to come back and hit it some more. I know I took advantage of that once or twice. Actually, just once.
I'm taking advantage of the fact that Reapers don't seem to get a stealth nerf in them with the Lugs.
Really?
I'm trying it out right now, and I just went up close to his hunter, not with it in my range, but close to it, and fired, and nothing saw me.
I've got these Reaper Kudas that I was never able to use effectively. I might try those. Huh.
Interesting.
Very interesting. All right.
Sorry, it's too loud because I'll change it.
I think. Yeah. Moving on. All right. I think we got some discussion of the prizes on the next ones. Anything else you want to talk about the campaign? Tips?
Mixed fleets, revenges, and vendettas if you've got them.
Yeah.
Obviously, bear in mind that if you can take out thermal ships from the outside, do so, and then sub it because it will reduce your damage. There's a lot of gales on a lot of the guard ships.
Yeah.
Mortars, so sometimes it might be better for you to, rather than sit at full range, maybe send in some revs break down the walls a bit, and then send some revs in behind you. Keep 2 of your vendettas on the outside. Send one in, break the walls down around it, and then send your revs in to demolish the targets, especially like the gammas. Use your Gatling guns to kill the gammas. Get right up close to them and kill them. Get rid of the gales. That make it a lot easier for you.
Okay. All right, let's talk prizes. Tier 1, we've got the atomic targeting. This gives radioactive accuracy and radioactive damage. Clearly, this is good for launchers. I thought it was just kind of interesting because you haven't had this sort of a special before. Launchers have been out for a while, but there's never been like a must-have offensive special for launchers before, but now there is.
Yeah, it's a lot of extra damage.
Yeah, it's great for
5%.
vanquishers.
Yeah, really good for vanquishers. But then it's which special do you get rid of?
Well, I know which one I would get rid of because I was putting cryo battery on mine, and I was realizing that was kind of a bad idea because a lot of incoming ships have resonance capacitor these days. So,
I was also thinking interception system if you're using the Cyclone. I haven't run the
I'd
math
rather
on it.
have this.
Yeah, I don't understand why people have put that on there really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want the raw damage. You want the new special, which gives you the extra multi shot on it. Resonance battery is a good one to have. You definitely want agility system 4 or 3 on it minimum.
Yep.
You want to add in some D2E just so it's lower repair time on it, but it's just you want it on your offensive one at least. If you've got a defensive one, then you don't have to worry about any extra armor. But you definitely want some evade on there to stop the new ship from coming in with launchers. Get it to miss a bit.
Okay. All right, let's look at tier 2. You've got a new heavy weapon launcher, 800 tons, 5,000 armor points, good damage, and very big shockwave damage as well. And this is another multi-shot launcher instead of a salvo launcher. Yeah, so more like the Cyclones.
Yeah, it's quite nice from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ewok's got one built with this on it, and he had obviously we're going to go into it, but the secondary weapon go off on it, and let's just say it's very interesting.
All right. Sounds fun. And then at tier 3, we have a new ship, the Retribution, which has 6 weapon slots, 2 of which I'm pretty sure are the heavy ones. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can put 2 of those new thermonuclears and 4 cyclones.
Yeah.
Reload, damage, range, lots of deflection, like all the Conqueror hulls. 100% defense handicap, so don't bother with the defensive specials. It's a lot like a Vendetta actually with that -160 evade.
Yeah, the concussive deflection's nice on it, and explosive deflection's really nice.
Yep. And
The only
then
thing that it lacks really badly is that as soon as it does meet a vanquisher, it dies in 2 volleys.
Yeah, I did notice, right, it's got no radioactive and no penetrative deflection unless you get the bloodthirst going, and then you can get some, but still, this isn't really high penetrative. And
Yeah, but look at the max stack number. It's 20.
yeah, you gotta really stack up, and I think most players by now have really reduced what's available on the outside of their base.
And also, it doesn't have any ballistic at any point.
Yep. Yep.
None of the new Conqueror hulls have got any ballistic vents whatsoever.
Well, the Vendetta doesn't either. Revenge has some.
Well, yeah, but it's not a lot.
It's also called Snap Immune as well.
Yeah. To be honest,
Yeah.
I'm not building it as a spotter. I'm not building it as an all-out base hitting hull.
But in your base, are you still going to go with 10 javelins like you've been going with before?
Yeah, the thing is it's I don't know. No, this thing is just it's really as soon as you got executioners hitting it, it's going to die quick.
Yeah.
And just kill it quick. And new cyclones kill it real quick. But it does put out a massive amount of damage, and when it dies, it puts out a massive amount of damage. So
Okay.
what I would suggest is that you want to figure a way of putting your guard in such a way that if one of these comes in, it can't just rush past and kill one of your guard ships, which is like most important. Because a lot of people are just going to use it as a suicide bomber.
I think that's how I described it right after the last show when you got these blueprints.
Yeah, it is. That's basically what it is, really. You could just rush it in, park it next to something, let it die, and kill it. Because 92 splash on it, 72,000 damage for it dying.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and are we assuming that any splash specials do not work on this?
You wouldn't know because it's a field of effect, doing it. It's not an actual weapon itself.
Yeah,
But,
I just want to get it out there that we don't think that's going to work.
No. What I will say though is that all of these people that hide ghost crawlers in their bases, you've got it coming to you now.
It's got a pretty decent thermal imaging range on it, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But you run this over the top of a ghost and let it blow up. Let's put it this way: we know that one kills about 90% of a ghost that's fully armored.
Nice.
Well, hey, I'll tell you what, man. If you get on top of a ghost, don't forget. Or wait a minute. Oh, why did I think this thing had submerged damage?
It doesn't. No.
Yeah.
No.
The
It does for the death weapon, that big
Yeah.
overload weapon, but yeah.
Yeah.
See,
All
that's why my Vendettas have Hydro Shell on them, so they can hit underneath, and it's actually worked pretty well for sub bases.
Nice. I think we got to probably talk about one more thing with this ship is that you're getting this, I'll say, high-end base hitter hull from a TLC.
High-end suicide bomber.
Well, so here's the thing. I think a lot of players were expecting that this sort of thing would be a raid prize in August. And the rumor that I think is a pretty good rumor is that what we're going to get instead in August is a new sub hull to get ready for the next raid. So you're
called
going
the
to have
Hellwraith. Yeah, they've released pictures of it. It's called the Hellwraith, and it's coming out.
So the next sub hull is coming out a month before we need subs for the next raid, instead of at the first event of the new raid style.
Don't forget, with that ship coming, there should be with that sub coming. I mean, there should be a weapon with it as well. So there might be a new torpedo coming too.
That's a good point.
And a special usually.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's a Scourge. I mean, I'm sorry, Reaver. So Reaver stuff just blows up everything around it. So it'd be interesting to see how they work in subs and torpedoes to the Scourge, because I'm sorry, I keep on saying Scourge, to the Reavers, because once they die they blow up, or once they always create splash. They're a very different mechanism than we've seen for subs before.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe you want to refit your subs now, maybe you don't.
Wouldn't this just make a good tank though for explosive deflection, corrosive deflection, and concussive deflection that you hadn't got in the fleet at the time?
This bloody retribution wheel, yeah, it is. It's one of them really. I don't know. I've seen
Well,
them
it's not
go very quickly.
the PvE usually has bypass, so I wouldn't. Probably you can't use it
No.
for that.
Hmm.
But maybe in player bases, you can be smart about which ships you bring forward.
Yeah.
All right. On to the screw ups. And this young lady is a Russian hacker, since Russian hackers have been in the news this week. And she got busted, so she is a screw up. But anyway, they, for some reason, limited your friends' relocate list to 25, penalizing those who are popular.
They've been. I haven't seen. Has anybody seen anything on the forums where they actually respond to this issue? I mean, I've seen some of the mods say things, but I mean, this isn't really a good thing because at this point, I want to just eliminate friends, just so I can jump to the people I want to.
Mm.
Yeah, is this just on Facebook or is it on Kickstarter site as well?
It's on. Maybe it's. I think it's just on Facebook. So maybe they're trying to drive people away from Facebook and drive them to Kickstarter. I don't know, but it's a problem because I got. Like I wanted to actually jump to you like 3 or 4 days ago because there was no 107s around. But then I got buddies of mine that aren't in my alliance that they're not on my friends list anymore.
It happens every raid though as well, doesn't it? You always get shotted all your
Yeah,
friends.
but now it's consistent. Now it's consistent. Now it's all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
see,
so
I
I used,
sent in a. You can go on.
yeah, I used to like being able to jump to all of the 970 Battle Pirates friends that I've got on Facebook. I could jump anywhere. Now I've got to jump somewhere where one of my alliance members can get to. We have fun. We have a little group which is made up of 3 alliances, maybe 4. We jump every month all together to wreck a sector and then move on and wreck through the world that we're in. It makes it really hard for that kind of stuff to happen, having a list of only 25 players. So
Yeah.
we've got to get like one of the lower bases to like drop tags, join up with the other group so that they've got a jump point into where we're going, and then he basically joins them so that he can jump to them, and then he's got to change his tags back to ours. Then he loses all of his experience from being in the alliance and everything else like that. But that's the only way we can figure out doing it.
Actually though, the relocate on the map, I used that other day.
Yeah, that's all right if you want to stay in the same world, though, isn't it? You can, it's a pain in the neck if you want to get to a specific sector.
Mm.
See, I put in a ticket on it because I prepped for people during the raid, and they're like, all right, well, when the raid ends and the friends list is reinstated, I'll send you 50 gold. They were never able to do that. So I sent in a ticket on it, and Kickstarter tried telling me they have no control over the friends list, and I pointed out they limit it every raid, and I haven't gotten a response since then.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. All right, and then the other screw up is that we already talked about the weight increase on the subs. They didn't quite account for that, so boo.
Yeah. And having the answer of you will have to scrap them and we will give you the build time back to replace them when they're legendary rank is not a satisfactory answer.
No.
Just putting that out there.
Yeah. All right, and then breakthrough. This young lady, by the way, is apparently another hacker. I don't believe it, but that's what it said.
The internet
Anyways,
is always honest.
yeah, that's right. I believe everything I read on the internet, don't you?
Yeah. Of course.
Anyway, so what we do like is that some of these new prizes can be done instantly for base parts. So, that was an issue that, new high-end turrets were taking 2 weeks, and, new specials were taking a long time, and all that other good stuff. So now the build times in your base really are lower. Base parts really do help. And
Yeah, I got mine in within an hour of the Forsaken mission starting earlier. I had the minigun turret in, transformer, and changed the special on it all instantly for base parts. So I had, I think, like 24k left. And I'm
Yeah.
not up to the maximum amount of base parts that I can have, so yeah, I thought that was really good, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got mine in too now. I had to take a break because somebody decided to lose their fleet in my channel and kill my dock. So, but it is doable with base parts. The turn itself is 8 days, I think.
Yeah, the special's quite quick, I think. It's nice.
all right. So, yeah. All right. I'm gonna exit this.
That's about us for all of the slides.
That is all the slides.
I know. So,
Yep.
Any questions for anybody in chat? I'll just grab a look at chat in a second. Yeah, anything you want to ask?
One thing I want to push out there is the Phantom Tiger Shark and the Phantom Nighthawk. I believe it was said they already have all the boost in as the Nighthawks and the Tiger Sharks at R5. So
Yeah, just to add that in there, anything that does affect the normal Tiger Shark and Nighthawk in the upcoming is all going to be the same, so it will affect the Phantom versions as well. Andre to Turkey, what do you think about the minigun turret? Is it worth to build it?
Yes.
So, yes, it's a simple answer. It wrecks Revengers. Good, like real good. In my base, there's quite a massive coverage in my base. So I'll load my base up and I'll screen share it. I'll show you the range of it, which is pretty good. So yeah, it's interesting. It does quite a lot of damage, especially if you can get a couple of fire support 2 platforms around it. I'll go through it once my base loads up.
So what kind of dog is that, Larry?
It's a Shih Tzu.
Okay.
Biggest Shih Tzu you'll ever see, but he's Shih Tzu. He's usually a little more into Mrs. Professor, but I don't know. He was hanging around while I was doing the slides, so I just grabbed him.
See, he's guarding the temple for you.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's load that. Taking forever today. Did anybody notice as well that the chat went down earlier? And
YouTube chat?
no Battle
Oh,
Pirates
game
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
I thought Erp and I got constant for what we were seeing in chat last night.
No, it wasn't just you.
Right. So you can see my screen there. So new minigun turret. So that's the range of it. That's just with the normal AT transformer on it.
That's beautiful.
So it works obviously you want to keep it covering as much of the channel as possible, because the constant firing only increases the fire rate of it. So, it works really well if you can cover the entire channel with it. It will just constantly fire like that. So that's pretty good. So if we have a look at the setup on it, so obviously I've got it on a level 7 turret. I've put zinc film shells on it just to increase the projectile speed and add 30% splash to it. And I put the expanded concussive charge on it as well, which is 60% splash, 60% extra damage. So that brings up the damage to 5,459 across 2 salvos. So that's tons of damage against the Revenge. It just apparently hasn't got any concussive defense.
And just as a quick in there, even the concussive deflection on the Retribution is only 4,000. So that's
Yeah, I
still
ran the numbers on that, Larry. I mean,
Yeah, but keep in mind it's got a salvo too.
It's 2 salvos.
Oh, it does?
It is.
Yeah, it's a 2 salvo, so
Oh,
you
there-
need to have four fire support 2s in order to do above minimum damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you think about the windup,
Yeah.
you might be doing a ton of minimum damage once it gets, smoking, so to speak.
Yeah.
Siren's probably gonna hate me for this because I said to her, "Can you send the fleet in and just let's see how the new weapon works, see how quick it fires and stuff like that." So, so she did, and she's probably going to hate me for now broadcasting it across the internet. But
Well, Kickside might not cooperate, so
yeah, we'll see.
we'll see.
So here we go. So she come in with 2 Venges and 3 Vendettas. Admittedly, she stepped over into here, and this one here has got an ATR transformer on it, so the actual range of it comes out to here, the Drax Scattergun, so it does a lot of damage anyway. But if we zoom in here, you can actually see it's a blue bolt that comes through. You can see the fire rate coming through.
Oh, jeez.
So, you can see it winding up, and it just gets quicker and quicker and quicker. So, that's 2 Avengers gone, and 2 turrets gone. So now she's going to send in Vendettas singly, which is no good idea. But because obviously they travel further along the channel, you'll see how fast the fire rate gets. It gets a lot quicker. So, and don't forget this travels all the way around from here, all the way around my channel, all the way round to the other corner as well, and then all round the back as well. So there's the first hit. So you can see it getting quicker and quicker. Yeah, no, it's just like a constant blue stream going across there now.
Vanquisher's doing all right.
Yeah, just a few antis in there.
Yeah, talking about his guard, everybody who told me my Gamma Behemoth would suck, it actually works. And they're using the weapons in the campaign that I have on my Gamma.
Yeah, they do work nicely.
Yeah.
All I said was that they would be outranged by Revs with Gatlings on. That's all I said.
No, you told me the night before it finished that it would suck. I remember because I was like, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Against Gatling gun bloody Revengers, because it'd get outrange, you wouldn't fire at them.
Well, it can outrange it if you have railguns on it either, so it doesn't matter. The point is, my gamma worked even though I was told it wouldn't.
Ha ha ha. So, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't like that much really. So there you go. Anyway, but yeah, as you can see, you know, the fire rate gets stupid, and by the time they get to here, it's ridiculously stupid. So just thought I'd show you guys, for those that were interested.
Thanks, Surf.
Okay,
And
so some.
I know you done it as a test for me, and yeah, I apologise on the internet.
So Kickside changed the resonance capacitor, however you pronounce it, in the stats. In the attack part, it now says radioactive damage plus 35% on top of everything else.
Didn't notice that one.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, they didn't nerf it, but my question is, does it stack with the other 35% attack damage, or is it on its own type of thing?
You know, I think you'd have to look at the data mine to find out. I wouldn't trust any other source of data on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you've got to really look at that. Right, so anything else that we've got? So anything else in chat? Let's have a look. What special should I run on my Vanquisher? So
Do that early.
my Vanquisher, my offensive one, currently, the build is. I can post it on the BPC page, but basically I've got all Cyclone launchers on it, 3 pieces of D2E, evade upgrade, agility 4, resonance capacitor, cryo battery, and the new special, what's it called?
Mission generator?
That's the one, the mission generator. But I might drop the evade upgrade and put the new atomic special on mine. And on the other one that I've got is full of Gale anti-mortars and just has agility 3 on it and frontline countermeasures. No armor, just one launcher, just so it can act as a spotter for a citadel or a Harlock citadel, and the rest Gale 3s. And that will shoot down a fair amount of mortars, especially if you tag it with team it up with the Gamma Behemoth that I've got in my base as well. That's got 4 Gale 3s on it as well, and as you can see from the base hit that we just showed, shoots down a ton of mortars.
Yeah. I think the other one to think about that I may be using on mine is Countermeasure Loader 3, and that was just for the 20% reload.
Yeah,
It's a
you
lot
can,
shorter build than it used to be.
yeah. So there's a bunch of different ways of building. There's a few on there. So I can post a couple of builds to the BPC page anyway. Some ideas that I've got, something similar to my guard. You know, maybe a few bits and pieces. And something that I might look into doing is hopefully, if I get time in the next few days, I'll try and stick up a few base layouts on there as well. I'll try and put mine up and a few others so that they're available for people to use, and I'll try and explain why it's set up the way that it's set up. So hopefully that'll be alright.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything else in the chat.
I didn't see anything else. Nope.
No. So I think that's about it. Larry, do you want to plug your blog?
bpprof.blogspot.com. I've been a little behind. I did a one earlier in the week on the new shoot, the reciprocator, the new reciprocator gun versus the Gatling. And I want to catch up and hit the minigun and some of the new TLC stuff. But I think we hit the high points on the show. But yeah, bbprof.blogspot.com.
Cool. G Daddy, do you want to plug your Twitch channel?
Yeah, you can do it. It's GDaddy, and it's at twitch.tv/GDaddyD.
There you go. You should check him out. He's really good. Does a lot of streaming of stuff for very little coin or very little repair. So you can learn a few things on how to grind stuff out and bits and pieces. Really good for some of the mid-level players as well. Hefe, do you want to plug anything in particular?
Hefe at Pornhub.com.
Hey, I do not want to see that.
Delio, can you please not have anything about molesting goats with your plug, please?
No,
Of course
I
not.
think we
Guys.
posted
Sheep
it up
for goats are
before.
different.
Sorry, mate.
What? The frostler.com/bp/index.php, it gives you timers on the mining bases and how long you have to forsake a mission and stuff like that. And it also has stuff like a base damage calculator. So it's pretty good if you run it up in another tab because you're doing stores and you want to know when something spawns or not.
Yeah, it is really good.
Yeah,
I actually use it a lot for spawn times on mining bases and stuff like that. It's also got a base parts to time calculator on there as well, and the other way around, so that if you want to figure out how many base parts you need to do a specific thing in your base, yeah, it's always a good thing, so you can plan ahead and know when you've got enough and stuff like that. The spawn times are on there for everything, from mining bases to armadas, even during the VXP weekends. It will tell you when the next spawn times are for the relevant targets and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it also has a sonar range damage calculator now.
Yeah, cloak for sonar, and it's got
Yeah.
a bunch of
Where
good
did that
stuff
come
on
from?
I don't know. But there we go. But yeah, it's a cool site, so you should check it out. And the guys that put it up there are doing a cracking job. Yeah. So I think the only thing I've got left to plug is this show. So yeah, make sure you watch next week. Also, we're thinking about possibly restarting doing the Friday shows again at the weekend. But Hefe will obviously let everybody know about that a bit closer to the time. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. It's been great. Thanks for everybody that comes out every week. Thank you very much to my lovely panel, and we shall see you again next Wednesday. Later, guys.
Night, everybody.
Later.